Good day. Today, we would like to present our system, strikeplagiarism.com. We will begin with an overview of our Similarity Report, a review of the Canvas integration, how the strikeplagiarism.com system operates when integrated, and cover the main elements of the user panel, demonstrating how the system can also be used as a standalone solution through the web browser. First, we would like to introduce our Similarity Report, its structure, and its content. We offer several reports depending on which modules have been enabled. The system generates a separate report for artificial intelligence detection, grammar and spelling analysis, and our primary similarity report. The similarity report includes metadata about the document, which consists of key elements such as the organization name, document title, and organizational unit. The similarity indexes reflect the percentage of text that matches content from other sources in relation to the overall volume of text in the submitted document. It indicates the similarity percentage across all detected sources. In cases where the administrator account has a threshold value set for the similarity index, the system will display a warning message indicating that the threshold has been exceeded for this document and specify the threshold value established for similarity score. The quote coefficient reflects the number of words that are cited within the text. These are text of the document enclosed in quotation marks, as identified in the similarity report. The quote coefficient is optional and can be configured within the similarity report. It may be enabled or disabled by the account administrator. In addition to similarity matches, the system includes a section called Alerts. This section highlights any modifications that may have been applied to the document text. This includes characters from different alphabets, enlarged spacing, micro-spacing between words. It also includes hidden characters inserted between words in a sentence and highlighted in white font color. As a result, during a visual review, these hidden characters may not be visible to the reader. However, when using our system, it detects these hidden characters and displays them within the document text. We also have our paraphrasing module, which indicates the number of words and fragments that have been paraphrased. For example, this includes changes in word order, the use of synonyms, spelling variations, and comparisons against the source text and the original document. For instance, in this fragment, we see that a word was inserted between existing words in the text. In this way, the fragment has been paraphrased. Or, in other fragments identified by the system, for example, this particular word contained grammatical errors. We can see how it appeared in the original work with which the system found similarity. Or another example, the word is was changed to are, and so forth. These paraphrasing detections help us identify deeper similarities, as the system searches not only for direct word matches but also for paraphrased wording and rephrased content. The list of similarities can be found under the Alerts section. Here, all the databases used by the system for analysis are displayed, along with the number of similarities identified in each respective database. We also have database headers for each source. By clicking on the plus icon located here, we can access detailed information about which specific fragments were found in that particular database. The system uses a color coding scheme where each database is assigned a different color to highlight matches within the document text. ReefBooks database is the scientific journals and publications database contains over 100 million scientific texts, which are published across popular academic databases such as Scopus, Web of Science, Google Research, and others. We can view the name of the source where the similarity was found, the title of the work, the author's name, as well as the number of identical words, fragments, and the percentage. When we display it within the document, the system highlights the specific matching fragment. When we click on it, the metadata for this document is also displayed. The next database is the home database, which includes all previously uploaded submissions into the institution's database, as well as the archive of prior papers. When similarities are detected within the internal database, not only are the document title and author, if available, displayed, but the matching text is also extracted and highlighted in yellow to clearly indicate which fragments in both documents are similar. The same applies to other fragments. If multiple fragments are found from the same database, we can easily navigate between them and compare these segments. In addition, the fragments are clickable. If we return to the beginning of the report and click on the fragment, the system will automatically highlight it within the document text. The Database Exchange program consists of our partner institutions who collaborate with us and share their databases within the system. When similarities are identified in the Exchange database, we display the document title. However, the author's name is hidden so the author's identity remains anonymized. The database will indicate which university added the document to its repository. When similarities are detected, these are displayed directly in the document text. Unlike the internal database, no full text excerpt is displayed from the source database for these matches. The Internet database includes all publicly available online sources. When similarities are detected through Internet search, we highlight identical fragments in yellow, displaying the corresponding match between the Internet source and the submitted document. In addition to comparing matches across the various databases, the system also provides the option to exclude fragments. If a particular fragment should be accepted as original, the instructor can select and exclude this fragment from the similarity index calculation or exclude the entire source altogether. The entire source can also be excluded from the sources list by accepting and excluding it fully. Once a fragment is accepted, the similarity index values are recalculated accordingly, and the system maintains a record of all accepted fragments, showing which portions have been accepted as original by the supervising academic reviewer. In addition, there is an option to exclude quotations. When quotations are excluded, all text enclosed in quotation marks is accepted and excluded from the current similarity coefficient calculation. The similarity coefficient is then recalculated, taking into account the accepted quotations. Within an assignment, whether it is an assignment, quiz, discussion, created in Canvas, Blackboard or directly in our system, the system includes an additional source of analysis known as cross-check verification between submissions within the same assignment before these documents are added to the database. This means that all submissions within one assignment are compared against each other for potential collusion or copying. This percentage is not included in the main similarity coefficient but is displayed separately, specifically showing the coefficient of similarity between submissions within the same assignment. We do not state who uploaded the work first, whether the author John or the author Anna. We simply indicate the percentage of similarity. If the system detects any similarities between submissions within the same assignment, it displays the number of identical words and the percentage of overlap. By clicking on Show Comparison Result, the system displays both submissions side by side on one screen, allowing us to directly compare which fragments are similar across both documents. Additionally, within the Similarity Report, there is functionality for adding comments. We can enable standard commenting mode and leave any comment directly in the document text regarding corrections or feedback. There is also the comment tags option. These are predefined instructor comments intended for personal use, which allow instructors to insert recurring remarks across multiple submissions. For example, we create a new comment group, and later we can add comments into this group. Once confirmed, the comment group is created, and we can add new comments to this group. After the comments have been created, we select the comment from our list and place it into the section of the document where we want to leave feedback. The list of comments is also generated separately, which is convenient for the document author. When the author edits specific fragments of the work, they can review these comments and make revisions according to the system's feedback. The Similarity Report can be shared with non-authorized users by generating a direct link or by entering the email address of the person to whom the report should be sent. A built-in user guide for working with the Similarity Report is also available directly inside the report itself. This allows all users to review instructions and familiarize themselves with the key functionalities of the Similarity Report. The report can be saved in PDF format. Users can navigate back to the beginning, or move to previous or next fragments within the same source. In addition to the Similarity Report, if the Artificial Intelligence Detection option has been enabled, the system also generates a separate AI-generated content report. This report includes fragments from the entire document, the full text is divided into segments, and each fragment is assigned its own probability score indicating the likelihood of AI-generated content. The AI detection report provides two primary results. The first is the overall probability score of AI-generated content, meaning the cumulative similarity score divided by the total number of analyzed fragments. Since we understand that different fragments carry different probabilities, ranging from, for example, 1%, 55%, to 79% likelihood, it is often more practical to focus on higher probability segments, starting from 80% and above. For this reason, the system includes an AI content indicator, which allows users to view results based specifically on high probability AI-generated segments. In real time, the user may adjust the slider to the desired threshold to filter the report accordingly. For example, a setting of 0.8 represents an 80% probability and displays only those fragments that meet or exceed this AI probability threshold. This means that the system will exclude all fragments with an AI probability score below 80%, and only display those segments with a probability higher than 80%. The report also provides the total percentage these high probability AI-generated segments represent in relation to the full document volume. The AI detection report can also be generated in PDF format and saved locally to your computer. Why did we separate the AI detection report? Because AI-generated content analysis often requires different evaluation approaches. Additionally, this allows instructors to independently decide whether or not to enable AI detection for a given assignment or document. The AI detection feature can be enabled or disabled both at the assignment level and for individual documents. It can also be automatically enabled for all users or configured according to the institutional policy of the university. Next, we have the Grammar and Spelling Report. This report contains information about detected grammar and spelling mistakes. It displays the total number of errors, the types of errors, and their specific locations within the document text. By clicking on any identified error, the system suggests possible corrections or replacements for the grammatical mistakes. The user can review any error directly in the text and examine all identified mistakes throughout the document. The report can also be saved as a PDF file. Within the Similarity Report itself, there is also a Save and Finish button. This button provides the following options: Save changes, continue editing, disqualify, send for correction, or accept, add to database. The first three options do not add the document to the repository, allowing the same document to be re-uploaded for subsequent analysis if necessary. Additionally, this button may be removed entirely if, for example, the university wishes to assess the document solely based on grading criteria without offering any additional options. In such cases, the button can be fully disabled within the Similarity Report.
The integration allows document analysis through Canvas external tool, Canvas framework, as well as for quizzes and discussions. How does the integration work? The instructor creates an assignment within Canvas and logs into their instructor account. The integration itself is pre-configured by the Canvas system administrator. We provide all necessary instructions and assist with the implementation and assignment creation process. When creating an assignment, there is a submission type field. Here, the instructor selects which integration method they wish to use. If choosing external tool, they search for strikeplagiarism.com, select it from the list, and click Choose. If artificial intelligence detection is enabled, the instructor can also decide whether to proceed with or without activating AI analysis for the assignment. Additionally, the instructor can limit the number of submission attempts for students, assign access permissions, set assignment availability dates, save the settings, and publish the assignment. If using Canvas framework, the instructor selects submission type, online, file uploads, and then plagiarism review. Here, strikeplagiarism.com is selected, and further configuration options for the assignment become available. These include the ability to disable verification against specific databases. For example, if the instructor chooses not to check against the Exchange database or the internal repository, they may enable or disable these options and restrict verification to selected databases. The instructor may activate AI detection, grammar checking, and choose whether to store the document in the database after verification or not. They can also decide how and when the Similarity Report will be displayed to students, immediately after submission, after grading, after the submission deadline, or never. If immediately is selected, the Similarity Report will become available to students as soon as their assignment is published. Once the assignment has been created, the student opens the assignment and proceeds to submit their work. The student may select a file or drag and drop it into the upload field to submit it for analysis. The student confirms that the submission is their own original work and clicks Submit Assignment. If the pre-checking option is enabled, students may run a preliminary check before submitting the final version of their assignment for official evaluation. We click Submit Assignment to send the work for verification. If multiple submission attempts have been allowed for the student, they may click New Attempt and resubmit the assignment for another round of verification. After the student has uploaded their submission, we proceed to SpeedGrader since the assignment was submitted via Canvas framework, and initiate the grading process. The submission has now successfully entered the verification process in the StrikePlagiarism.com system. If a recheck is required, we can click the Resubmit button to send the assignment for verification again. We can see that the document has been submitted for analysis, and we are currently awaiting the verification results. When we navigate to the list of assignments created through the Canvas external tool, we are presented with a list of such assignments, including the titles of the assignments, the names of the students, the submission dates, whether the submission has been viewed by the student, provided the instructor has allowed students to access it, grades, and similarity index values. When we move to the tab with the similarity index values, a report opens which contains the same information as our standard report, as well as an intra-assignment comparison, cross-check mode, between this submission and another student's work. If the system has detected similarity, we will see both submissions displayed with identical fragments highlighted in both documents. There is also an artificial intelligence detection report, if AI detection was enabled for this particular assignment. When we review an assignment that was created through the Canvas framework, we open the submission and see the results of the analysis. We click on the similarity index value and are redirected to the report tab generated by our system, which may also contain additional tabs if these were activated for this assignment. We can evaluate the submission and leave our comments for this submission. The assigned grade will also be automatically transferred to the gradebook. In addition, our system also allows for the verification of quizzes and discussions. In order to verify a quiz or discussion, we first need to create the quiz. For this, we assign a name to the quiz and add questions to it. We select the essay question type and input our question. After entering the question, we publish the quiz for completion. When we switch to the student view, we submit our answer to the quiz and send it for verification. When we navigate to the Quiz and Discussion tab, we can see that the quiz we have just created appears, and we are able to activate additional verification settings for this quiz. For example, disable checking against the internal database and Exchange databases, enable artificial intelligence detection, prevent the submission from being stored in the database, and allow students to view the full similarity report. After adjusting the settings, we activate the verification process for the quiz. Once the analysis is complete, the interface updates, and we can see student responses, the submission dates, the similarity index values for each individual published response, the status, and the full similarity report, which can be viewed in a separate window for the given quiz. The same applies to discussion, however, the verification of discussions takes place in a separate tab called Discussions. Now our quiz is ready. After that, the submissions are uploaded, analyzed, and we can review the similarity results. Regarding parameter settings and customization within the user account, we can configure the number of allowed attempts for any assignment or quiz, display grading statuses, enable preliminary self-checks for students and set the number of such preliminary checks. We can enable the toggle for artificial intelligence detection, enable grammar checking, post-submission review options, full similarity report visibility for students, repository storage or non-storage, and select which databases to include in the analysis. These settings may be activated or deactivated and saved as part of the account configuration.
Regarding the panel interface and the use of the panel via a web browser. Now I am demonstrating the Administrator Panel overview. We would also like to remind you that our system allows integration with Single Sign-On, or SSO. This means that all of your users can access the system without registration, based on specific data that we import into the system. Users may also receive a specific limit for checking assigned to their account type, which defines the number of documents they can upload for verification via their user panel. We can differentiate between user roles, whether they are students or instructors, for each institution via SSO. The system includes comprehensive statistics that allow the generation of usage reports by organizational units, users, number of documents analyzed multiple times, total number of documents, artificial intelligence usage, and any other statistical data. These statistics are available for download in XLS format. Each user account also contains a help section, which includes basic system instructions that open in a separate tab and provide step-by-step guidance for using the system. We also provide a frequently asked questions section that contains answers to the most common inquiries raised by our clients. This includes video presentations, user manuals for working with the system, and a contact form for reaching our technical support team and client account manager. Additionally, other users have access to contact information for the account administrator. If their inquiries are related to internal policies and procedures, they can address their questions directly to the account administrator. The administrator can view all documents uploaded through LTI, API, or directly into the system. For each document, the system generates specific metadata, including which user uploaded it, the document type, file size, and a special document code, which is unique for each document in the system. Each report can be accessed through the Submissions tab. The system provides advanced search functionality, allowing filtering by any available parameters. All data can be exported in XLS format. You may also simultaneously reject multiple submissions, add them to the repository, or delete them from the system. In addition, assignments created through Quiz or via Canvas are automatically added to the system. Moreover, deans or instructors can create assignments directly within the system, using short codes that allow students to self-enroll into the assignment. These codes can either be generated automatically or entered manually, enabling students to join the assignment on their own. You can assign a title to the assignment, add a description, specify the submission deadline, enable artificial intelligence and grammar checks for the assignment, select the document type, and invite students via their email addresses or by sharing the short code. Students can then independently enroll into the assignment. Our system also provides peer review functionality, allowing the distribution of additional peer evaluations. You can define the maximum score, set the number of reviews assigned to each student, determine whether students may select submissions for self-review, whether they can view the names of their reviewers, whether they can evaluate their own submissions, and whether they are allowed to submit without assigning a grade. We can create question libraries, add new libraries, and insert evaluation questions. Questions may be either text-based or use a scale format. These evaluations can be uploaded and managed through our system directly in the web browser. Administrators have full access to the user list. They can manage the user list, import users via XLS files, delete users, reset their passwords, view user histories, edit user data, adjust individual quotas, and assign or modify the number of document checks available to each user. Administrators can also adjust counter limits for multiple users simultaneously by selecting them from the list, or temporarily suspend users' access to the system. The account administrator has the ability to modify system settings, including adjusting similarity report settings such as phrase length and word count, which trigger warnings for manipulations involving word substitutions, microspaces, or hidden characters. They may enable or disable bibliography exclusion when uploading documents, enable or disable quotation detection and citation index calculation, and enable or disable the exclusion of quotations from the full similarity report. They may also set threshold values for the similarity index. In addition, the system allows the configuration of different threshold values depending on the document type. You may define which document types will be analyzed at your institution and assign specific similarity thresholds for each document type. The default values will be those set in the system configuration. The values for each selected document type will be specified in the Document Type Settings tab. We can choose when the submission will be added to the repository, either manually by the user, automatically once the similarity report has been generated, or automatically after a specific number of days. You can also select how many days after submission the document will remain available before being stored in the repository. Users may be allowed to edit document metadata, or their document visibility may be limited to only their own documents. This means that we have account types where users can see all documents belonging to their organizational unit, or restrict visibility to personal submissions only. Documents may be uploaded exclusively as files, without the ability to copy and paste text into the system. Rules can be established that must be accepted by users upon their first login. File format restrictions can be applied when uploading documents into the system. A system check for duplicate documents is available, which operates based on document metadata. You may also restrict specific domains for document uploads into the system. Similarity reports can be sent directly to instructors, provided that such an instructor list has been created. In this case, there will be a mandatory section for selecting the appropriate list of users. The account administrator can create any number of organizational units and add them to the system as needed. Here you can also find information about participation in the organizational exchange database. In this case, your documents will be compared against documents submitted by other institutions. Participation in the exchange database is optional. You may choose whether or not to participate in this exchange program. Additionally, participation can be configured for exchange partnerships with selected clients. Parameters. Additional parameters can be created, which may be either mandatory or optional when adding documents into the system. These parameters can be either text fields or drop-down lists. Here, university logos may be uploaded. A predefined list of comments can also be created and added into the system as preset comments. Files can be uploaded via the Click to Upload File button, after which text can be inserted and data entry can be completed using the system interface. We also have configuration options that can be either enabled or disabled by default. When enabled, they are displayed as fields that can be selected or deselected as needed. An additional option available in the system is translation similarity checking. You may select the target language for the translation, for example, French, German, Spanish, Japanese, and others. More than 109 language combinations are available. The original text will be automatically translated into the selected language, and the system will identify similarity matches based on the translated content. If you need to add a document into the database without performing similarity analysis, this can also be done by disabling this option and adding the document directly into the archive. Next, we have the automatic bibliography exclusion option, which can be disabled through the administrator settings. There is also an option to exclude specific URLs. If certain websites should be excluded from the similarity search, you may enter the URL into the designated field and press enter. Regarding technical and client support, as well as system implementation assistance, we fully manage the implementation process of our system into the infrastructure of universities, colleges, and institutes. We are also available for ongoing technical and client support. On our website, you will find extensive information about the various modules of the system. This includes our knowledge base, a comprehensive database containing full information on system functionality, integrations, technical modules, user instructions, contact details, phone numbers, and email addresses where your inquiries can be submitted. We also maintain all social media channels, and our YouTube channel features numerous instructional videos, presentations, video lessons, and live webinars held for our clients. We provide a US-based phone number through which you can reach our representatives in real time. The system is supported every day, and we provide both technical and client support on a continuous basis. Client support is also available via web chat, where you can leave your message to be forwarded to our support manager. The contact form allows you to submit inquiries, call the available phone numbers, or send requests via email. Additionally, we offer numerous instructional materials for end users, including guides on our website, full documentation in the knowledge base, and context-sensitive instructions available in every user account. If you are interested in system integration with any specific platform, The website also provides detailed user guides, including instructions for students on working with Canvas external tool, Canvas framework, quiz discussion, and how to evaluate and interpret the full Similarity Report. There are also frequently asked questions for corporate clients, organized into sections such as similarity reports, database usage, assignments, artificial intelligence detection, LMS integrations, and inquiries for individual users of the system. For technical assistance, we operate a chat ticket system in Jira. Upon request, we can generate monthly exports of all tickets submitted specifically by your institution and deliver these reports to your university's responsible staff. In addition, quarterly meetings can be scheduled to discuss progress, implemented processes, and operational plans during the past period. We maintain a transparent development roadmap that reflects new features we plan to introduce into the system. We also take into account user feedback and market trends to ensure ongoing system development. We provide multilingual client support. Support is available in more than 10 languages, including English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, German, Romanian, Polish, and others. We are also integrated with Blackboard. The Blackboard integration is based on the LTI 1.3 standard. Integration availability and instructions on how to configure it are provided in the user documentation. An assignment is created, the StrikePlagiarism.com plagiarism detection plugin is selected, and the basic data fields are completed. This includes entering the assignment title, maximum grade, start date, and submission deadline. The artificial intelligence detection option may also be enabled. Once the submission is uploaded, the instructor can review the full Similarity Report, examine the results, and assess the work. The final grade is automatically transferred to the gradebook. From the student side, the submission process is simple. The student opens the created assignment, clicks Upload Submission, and sends the file for analysis. If the instructor has allowed monitoring of assignment progress, the student can view their grading in the full Similarity Report. If comments have been added to the Similarity Report, the student will also be able to see these comments. The full Similarity Report is available in PDF format. The analysis time for any document in the system usually takes a few minutes. During peak sessions, processing time may increase depending on the number of documents uploaded for verification but never exceeds 24 hours from the time of submission. In addition, we provide automated system availability notifications. This page allows users to monitor any system outages and their timestamps. The page also contains a history log of past incidents and any applied resolutions. You may subscribe to this page via email, Microsoft Teams, Google Chat, or other services to receive automatic notifications if the system experiences any downtime or technical errors. We are very pleased to introduce our solution to your institution today, and we would be honored if you choose our system as your official plagiarism detection solution. Thank you for your attention.